As you can see, the phantom of the head of the drill is not flat. The most important thing is that the circular frame has also appeared. In this case, the general repair shop will definitely choose to directly pay for it. But here, because we can't buy a new starter, the masters will have to do a detailed repair. First of all, the master will repair the damaged starter. He directly uses the car bed to cut the connection between the phantom and the circular frame. Then use the hand to separate the head. This only requires a small hammer to hammer the metal. The damaged phantom part is then removed. Next, the master only needs to use the metal to melt the welding points on the head. In this process, the master is fully experienced. After a lot of work, all the welding points have been processed. In order to install the new phantom part, the master will use a grinding machine to grind the surface. Then he will polish the head of the drill to make sure the surface is smooth enough. The illusion machine can be installed easily. When the illusion machine is in contact with the coil, the master will use a hammer to hammer. The outer diameter must be cut through a car saw. The fixed method between the coil and the illusion machine is to use a welder to weld. Because the welding process is very important, the master is very careful. In order to prevent the coil from loosening, the welder uses the cotton thread to strengthen the coil. A damaged starter wheel like this is finally repaired by the welder. Next, the damaged spacer coil can be repaired. In order to remove the internal coil fixing bracket, the welder first uses a card to measure the center position and then uses a drill to drill a hole. After a lot of work, the damaged coil can be removed to make it easier to reassemble it later. The master needs to measure the center hole on for fixed brackets. Then the master can use the drill to drill a hole after the hole is processed. At this time, you can use a wire to process the screw. The following installation only needs to be fixed with a screw for the damaged coil. We'll use a heat gun to remove the surface of the insulation layer at high temperature and then use the acid to clean it. The coil can be restored to normal gloss. Next, we just need to clean the finished coil to make the insulation. This process is relatively simple. It is first wound around the insulation tape and then soaked in the insulation oil paint. On the other side, the master is checking the magnetic switch of the engine. After a thorough inspection, make sure that the remaining parts are fine. The engine is now ready to be assembled. 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 The engine is ready to go.